How's it going, Splatoon fans? If you're anything like me, you were really excited at the fact that we got a brand new trailer for some Splatoon 3 information just last week during the latest Nintendo Direct in February of 2022. However, if you're also like me, you kind of forgot everything else that Nintendo's talked about. They first revealed the game over a year ago, and there hasn't been a lot of information between then and now. So I decided I wanted to freshen up a bit on what was already announced, as well as take a closer look at what was just announced recently, dig through all the tweets, read through Nintendo's websites. I looked at all the sources. I'm compiling it all here for my sake, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. We're going to take a look at everything that we know about Splatoon 3. Go ahead and hit that like button on the video down below. Make sure you subscribe, buckle your pants, and let's get started. So back in February of 2021, we got our very first look at Splatoon 3 during a trailer during a Nintendo Direct. The majority of the first trailer is really just kind of world building. We see what basically is the wasteland of Splatoon 3. There's trains derailed and rusted out. You gotta remember, Splatoon takes place a long time after humans have gone extinct. So we create our character, and something that everyone seems to notice right away is that there doesn't appear to be any gender in Splatoon 3. At least not in the playable character. That's kind of a neat change. So after creating your character, you customize your little buddy, you pick up your bow, and we're on our way. So as the Wanderer moves on, we notice at some point Paris gets absolutely wrecked. They probably had it coming. And then we just hop on a train. The little buddy just kind of looks happy to be involved. We also see some familiar races, like this jellyfish guy and that salmon person. I don't know, man, adjectives are weird in this game. So finally we arrive in Splatsville, a massive, chaotic city environment that differs greatly from the previous game's locations. We get a good look at just how big this city is, but then the trailer jumps into Turf War, which, even though there was no shot it was going to be excluded, I'm really glad to know was still in the game. The first thing I notice is the new spawning system where you're kind of just floating above the map, and I think that's a good change. I don't like static spawns in video games like this. Being able to jump into different places on the map, I think will help the game keep moving a lot more and kind of prevent spawn camping in a situation like this. We also see some familiar weapons, a range blaster, dynamo roller, and what looks like an E-liter scope on one team, along with that new bow that we saw earlier. And they're up against a 96 gal, a Hydra Splatling, a splatter shot, and what looks like a sloshing machine. We also get an up-close look at that new bow weapon, which seems to fire 3 shots of ink at once. It looks like how they fire differs. It shoots vertically when you're jumping, but you might be able to shoot it horizontally while on the ground, kind of like a roller. We don't actually know, but time will tell. We also get a first look at a few of the special weapons. What looks like some weird Inkzuka Smaw type thing, and the Crab Bot, which is basically just Hammond from Overwatch, if you ask me, Wrecking Ball. I think the people at Overwatch and the people at Nintendo play each other's games a lot because a lot of Splatoon's ideas have kind of made itself over into Overwatch with their new game mode Push, which is basically tower control from Splatoon. And now you basically have Wrecking Ball in Splatoon 3. And honestly, I'm fine with that. But that's pretty much it for the first trailer. It's a lot of hype, but not a lot of information. And that's pretty much all we had to work with for months. In fact, 7 months later, we finally get another small taste in the Return of the Mammalians trailer. So let's break it down. So right off the bat, we see some more weapons. We see the bow again alongside a Splash-O-Matic, the Undercover Brella, and some Gloogadoolies going up against a Splat Roller, the Clash Blaster, what I think is a Splat Charger, and I think that's the 96 gal again. We get a better look at that Crab Bot from before, and really it's pretty much just Wrecking Ball from Overwatch. You roll around in ball form or you switch to tank mode and you shoot, and I'm down for that. We also see some sort of Bubble Shield special, which I'm also excited for, and like a Spider Squid special, which just looks awesome. There's a few random shots of the city and all that jazz, and then we get plot. Tasty, delicious plot. It's a lot of disjointed imagery and pictures. I slowed it all down and looked at it all, and there's nothing like world-changing here except for the main point. Everything's fuzzy now. The title card hits Return of the Mammalians, and that's pretty much the whole thing. You carry your little buddy around in your backpack the whole time, so they've probably got something to do with it, who knows. 24 hours later, Nintendo of America tweets out some hot details, mostly referring to the story. You apparently play as scrap hunters alongside your small fry buddy, and at some point get roped into fighting the Octarians, who are back again. We see the clothes you're gonna wear in the campaign, a little info about fuzzy Octarians, and then we see some shots of the campaign, an area known as Alterna. It looks like a rocket launch site. Maybe the mammals of Earth escaped to space in a rocket at some point. I'll save my speculation for another time, though. They talk about the fuzzy ink a little bit, and then we finally get to see the points of the small fry. They eat the fuzzy ink, which just turns you into a ball of fuzz, but they're able to eat it up and clear it out for you. They also apparently bite Octarians to attack them. They seem highly food motivated to me, but so am I, so what do I care? They confirm that Kali and Mari are returning, along with Agent 3 and Captain Cuttlefish. And that was pretty much it for that batch of tweets. So a week later, Nintendo of America tweets out a few more things, giving us information about the crab tank that we pretty much already knew. But we learned that the spider squid thing from earlier is called a zipcaster. They say, with tentacles that stretch way out and stick to walls, you can zoom around and cause mad chaos before returning to where you started, similarly to the inkjet from Splatoon 2. Honestly, that special looks really fun to me, and I can't wait to try it. So another week passes and Nintendo tweets out that music will exist in Splatoon 3. Thanks for that one. 2 days later, on October 6th of 2021, we get more Splatoon 3 special weapons via Nintendo's Twitter account. The Killer Whale 5.1, which is basically 6 smaller killer whales similar to the big one we saw in the first Splatoon game. And the Big Bubbler, which is the bubble shield thing we saw earlier, which is just a bigger version of the bubbler from Splatoon 1, which I have to be honest, I completely forgot existed. So another 2 days pass, and Nintendo tweets out a new stage coming to Splatoon 3, Scorch Gorge. This one doesn't look like any of the levels we saw in the first 2 trailers, but taking a look at it, I like the general layout of it. I'm always weary of levels that have a high ground in the middle of it because they're easy to control the whole stage from just one point, like you can in Splatoon 2's Sturgeon Shipyard. But there looks to be enough cover on the flanks that I don't think it's going to be that big a problem. I guess time will tell with this one. I think the new spawn system will also help with that. I like that we also get to see the old spawn system kind of covered up and out of use. It's a nice touch. But that's pretty much all that Nintendo let us know through their Twitter account. And now finally, the most recent trailer from Nintendo's most recent Direct. There's not a ton of information here. It's all Salmon Run, which is nice to know that it's making a return. There's only a few new things worth going over here. First of all, the new enemy types. We have the Fish Stick and the Flipper Flopper. It's nice to see some new enemy types added onto this chaotic game mode, that it's not just going to be more of the same, but they are building and expanding on this. They also showed off that you can throw the eggs from teammate to teammate now, and I think that's a great addition to this game mode, where you can just chuck the eggs across the level, have one person kind of playing closer to home to collect them all. I think it's a great idea. I think that I'm very excited to play this game mode now, whereas I didn't play a ton of it in Splatoon 2. I'm kind of very excited to play it in Splatoon 3. And then at the end of the trailer, they showed off this giant Godzilla-like salmonid, and then we finally got a release window, summer 2022. Now, if you ask me, we'll probably get a full-blown Splatoon Direct sometime in April with a possible global test fire sometime in May or June, and whether that's just like a full-blown turf war like it was in Splatoon 1, or a Splatfest like it was in Splatoon 2, or something else, who can say? But I'm pretty confident we're gonna get a global test fire on this game, and then see some sort of full-blown release in July or August. And again, that's all speculation. That's just me kind of guessing on things based off of past trends and the fact that my dad works at Nintendo. So time will really just kind of tell on this whole thing. But we know that, I don't know, 6 months from now, we'll have this game, and that's pretty exciting to me. But yeah, that's every single thing that has been released about Splatoon 3. I'm pretty sure. I combed everywhere, and that's all I could find. But if I missed something, please let me know, because I would really like to know that I missed something. I appreciate all the support that these videos have been getting. You guys make making this kind of content a lot of fun. Remember, we stream Splatoon 2, and when it releases, Splatoon 3 over on Twitch multiple days a week, together as a community, viewer battles, private lobbies, all sorts of stuff. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you go follow twitch.tv/letsjays. Come on over there, join on in the fun. And until next time, I'm Jay, you're probably not, and I hope you have a good day.